So what is your favourite horror movie?
Sinister.
And why?
Because it's one of the best horror movies I've watched. It's the type of movie that keeps you on the edge. You always want to know what happens next.
So what is the most likely thing that you would like to see in horror movies?
Personally, I prefer the more genuine, scary stuff, not gory scenes, jump scenes and stuff. Not too disgusting.
Yeah.
Hi, so what's your age?
I'm 17.
In a horror movie, do you prefer the victim to be male or female?
I prefer to be male.
Male. What about the serial killer? Would you be like a serial killer in a horror movie?
What do you mean?
Like in a horror movie, would you rather it be like a ghost or
Yeah,
a serial killer?
I'd rather it be like paranormal, like ghost.
Paranormal
Yeah.
stuff.
What's your age?
I'm 18 years old.
What's your favourite subgenre in horror movies?
Body horror.
Do you prefer fast pace or slow pace within an opening scene?
Fast paced.
And do you prefer loud or more quieter music?
Quiet music.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, what's your age?
I'm 17.
What's your favourite horror movie?
The Grudge.
The Grudge. Why is it your favourite horror movie?
Because it's kind of creepy, gives me the thrills, it gives me the excitement, I like the adrenaline it has.
What do you think in The Grudge pulls your attention to it? What's that favourite feature? Is it music or the pace?
The music is quite quiet, which is very sinister, so it attracts your attention, but kind of pulls you into more deeper of the storyline. And I like the fact that they don't use jump scares; they use very scary kind of approach to the film. So yeah.
Alright. Do you think that body horror should be used in a scary movie, or would you rather have a different subgenre like paranormal?
I would have paranormal because, as personal opinion, I love paranormal myself.
Alright. Thank you very much.
So what's your favourite horror movie?
My favourite horror film is The Shining by Stanley Kubrick.
And what's the reason behind that?
Well, I love his films generally, but I find The Shining to be a very, very scary and creepy horror film. But it's got really good pace, it's really well filmed, really interesting cinematography, and it's very psychological and haunting.
So you like psychological subgenres? You prefer?
I think I probably do actually. Yeah, I think.
And within the music of horror movies, do you like it being fast or do you like it being slow? What creeps you the most?
I think the scariest sort of music you get in horror films is where it's sort of slow, deep, brooding noises. I'm trying to think of an example. In Alien, which is a sci-fi film, but it's a sci-fi horror film, I think the music in that's very deep and slow and sinister sounding. So yeah, slow.
And lastly, what locations do you find really scary?
Well, the one of the scariest horror films I've seen, or horror films I've seen, are the Japanese films Ring and The Grudge.
Okay.
And they were set in everyday Japanese houses, and I lived in a house very similar to that in those houses when I lived in Japan. And I think the fact they were so everyday and ordinary made them even scarier to have a horror film set there.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you. Hi. So the first question would be, what's your favourite horror movie?
Well, my favourite horror movie of all time has to be The Omen.
The Omen?
Yes.
Why would that be?
The Omen, because it starred the great Gregory Peck
I see.
as the American diplomat, and I just like the way that it brought the church and the devil and the child and the religious aspect, and that they so badly wanted a child, and they wanted the child to be perfect, but actually it was the devil's son.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so then that's how it turned, how the mother sort of at first refused to believe what was happening, these awful things that the Damien, who's the little boy in the Omen, was making things happen.
Alright.
Evil things.
Evil things.
Yes, evil things.
So what would be your favourite subgenre? Do you think, like, would you prefer in a horror movie to be psychologically, paranormal, or body horror?
I think paranormal. Paranormal, yes.
Okay. And the last question is, where do you think a suitable setting for a horror movie would be?
Well, I mean, I quite think maybe like spooky sort of place, maybe in a desolate area, maybe a wooded area, out where there's not many people about.
Like in a forest?
Yeah, forest, that's the word, forest.
Or in a butcher's shop, maybe, no?
Yeah, but that would be quite gory because there'd be a lot of chopping, I think.
So you don't like gore?
I do like a bit of gore, but what I like about The Omen is that there is obviously some gore, but it's kind of done in a way that's not like the Chainsaw Massacre kind of a way.
I see.
Yes, so it's done in a sort of a bit smart, not as in your face type.
Do you find the Chainsaw Massacre scary?
Yeah, I stopped watching it.
Because that bad was really scary.
Yeah, I had to turn it off.
Thank you very much.
Okay.